Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you a lot of players that Manchester United have missed out on over the years and we have missed out on quite a lot of signings, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, we've made a lot of good signings, over the years as well. But, we've also missed out on, quite a lot of signings and that. So let's go through it now. So obviously, in recent years as well, we've missed out on, quite a few signings. Obviously, back in the January transfer window, this is of course under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, we missed out on, Erling Haaland. And I said, didn't I, it was a shame that we didn't get Erling Haaland on the board, because I think he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing and that. And obviously, Solskjaer knows the player really, really well, because don't forget, around 3 years ago, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had give Erling Haaland his debut. This is when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer worked with Erling Haaland at Molde and that. And I think, Al Finch, was it, his father, he came out, I think, earlier on this season, and he gave the couple of main explanations why Erling Haaland's move to Manchester United didn't materialise. Because obviously, throughout the course of this season, there has been a lot of uncertainty over Solskjaer's future. Obviously, we've had no Champions League football to offer and that. So that is a couple of the main explanations, and that is stemming from his father. Don't forget, back in January, Ed Woodward and Solskjaer went to, meet up with Erling Haaland to discuss a possible transfer to Manchester United. And Haaland was a cheap solution. He was available for like £17 million. But obviously, he didn't come to Manchester United. He joined Borussia Dortmund instead for around £17 million. And Erling Haaland, of course, signed a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024 and that. Did recently say, we've reignited our interest in Haaland. I think he's got like now a 63 million release clause in his contract with Borussia Dortmund, but I heard that it doesn't get activated until 2022. So, that is one sign, Manchester United missed out on and that. Also, too, we've heard back to the David Moyes era. We missed out on quite a few signings as well. We missed out on quite a few signings as well under the David Moyes era. I think, Toni Kroos, I think at one point we was really, really close to getting him from Real Madrid. We also missed out on Cesc Fabregas, because I think, we'd expressed our interest in Cesc Fabregas under the David Moyes era. Don't forget, we missed out on Gareth Bale, because, we have been in for Gareth Bale for several years. I think we actually, first expressed our interest, was it, in Gareth Bale? Well, actually, like he updated you earlier on today, there was reports actually, coming out saying that Ferguson wanted to sign Gareth Bale, back in 2013. Also put Ronaldo into the equation, because Ferguson, did say that I wanted to re-sign, Ronaldo back in 2013. But obviously, it didn't happen, because Alex Ferguson, announced his retirement a couple of weeks after failing to re-sign Cristiano Ronaldo and that. So yeah, we missed out on, getting Ronaldo back to the football club and that. Also too, as well, we missed out on, quite a few, players under the Alex Ferguson era and that. Don't forget, under Alex Ferguson, we did try to sign Alan Shearer at the time, but we didn't get Alan Shearer, unfortunately. Also, as well, don't forget, we went in for Sergio Ramos. We also went in for Ronaldinho. We also went in for Ronaldinho. Like I said, Cesc Fabregas. There's quite a lot of players over the years, that Manchester United have missed out on signing. Wesley Sneijderlin, he's another one. I think also to Pedro, he's another one. I think at one point, we tried getting Eden Hazard from Lille. This is, before Eden Hazard went to Chelsea. Of course, Eden Hazard, did endure 7 years with Chelsea. And I think at one point, we tried getting him on the board. I think at one point as well, we did express our interest in Thomas Muller. Don't forget Sergio Ramos, like I mentioned. I think we was actually, very, very close to getting Sergio Ramos. Don't forget as well, I want to mention, back in 2017, we was very, very close to getting Antoine Griezmann, but, we didn't get him on the board due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban. We should have actually, got Antoine Griezmann back in 2017. Don't forget as well, we missed out on Ivan Perisic, back under the Jose Mourinho era, because, we was relentlessly linked with Ivan Perisic. That's when he was playing at Inter Milan. Of course, he's on loan at Bayern Munich at the moment, so, he's another player, Manchester United should have signed. But the main explanation why we didn't sign Ivan Perisic is because, we was not willing to meet Inter Milan's asking price for the player. Who else is there, who we've missed out on? I think I've already mentioned Ronaldinho, haven't I? I think Raul as well. Wasn't even Real Madrid at the time. I think, we also went in for him under the Alex Ferguson era. We went in for Raul. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of players, that we have missed out on signing over the years. So there's probably a lot of others as well, that I haven't currently mentioned and that. But there you go. But obviously, anyway, we have recruited, over 30 odd players in, since the Alex Ferguson era, like I already mentioned to you before. Obviously, under the David Moyes era, we recommended Marian Fellaini and, Juan Matarin. Of course, we paid just over £27 million for Fellaini under the David Moyes era. Obviously, Fellaini is no longer now at Manchester United. Anyway, Fellaini did endure 6 years at the football club. Also, too, Juan Mata, he's still at Manchester United, and Juan Mata has been a long-serving player at the football club. Juan Mata is now into his 6th season at Manchester United, so there you go. But they're the only 2 players that David Moyes, did recruit in. Obviously, under Louis van Gaal, we've got the likes of Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Falcao, Daley Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Martial and Shaw, who of course are still at the football club now. So yeah, we brought a hell of a lot of players in under the Louis van Gaal era. But, he also brought Depayne as well, who endured a very, very difficult time at Man United. But, also too, Louis van Gaal got rid of a lot of the players, that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. Because, he did get rid of a lot of the players that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. And of course, under the Jose Mourinho era, he recommended 11 players into the football club. And Jose Mourinho brought the likes of Fred, Matic, Lindelof, Bay, Delors, Lee Grant, Lukaku, Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba. They are all the signings, that Jose Mourinho recommended into the football club. And, Solskjaer now is still inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players. And obviously, Solskjaer, since he got recommended in, he's recruited 5 players into the football club and he spent £220 million. Last summer, he recommended Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. I think last summer he spent around £150 million on them 3 players. And in January, of course, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. So Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings, and of course he did get Odion Ighalo on loan and that. So there you go. Like I said, obviously a lot of players have left, Manchester United as well, in the last 6 or 7 years or so. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got rid of around 9 players since he got recommended into Manchester United. Obviously, we saw Ashley Young leave this year. After he endured 8.5 years at the football club, he went to Inter Milan, did Ashley Young. Of course, we let Rojo go out on loan to Estudiantes. We let Smalling go out on loan to Roma. Of course, Darmian left the football club last summer. Herrera, of course, left the football club last summer after he endured 5 years at Manchester United. We let him go on a free transfer. Like I said, Fellaini left back in January 2019. Obviously, Lukaku left last summer. He went to Inter Milan. And of course, we let Alexis Sanchez go out on loan to Inter Milan. Also, Dean Henderson is out on loan at Sheffield United. Nearly almost forgot to mention as well, Valencia left last summer after he endured 10 years at the football club and that. Like I said, I think they've left under Solskjaer, but these are around 4 players that have left Manchester United, who obviously, Jose Mourinho recommended in and that. Like I said, a lot of the players Van Gaal recruited in have obviously now left the football club and stuff like that. So I think in the last 6 or 7 years, as good as it might be it's between 15 to, I think it's from between 15 to 20 players, something like that have left Manchester United in the last 6 7 years, probably even more than that, to be quite honest with you, because like I said, a lot of players have left since a lot of players have left, who we had, of course, under the Alex Ferguson era. But of course, under David Moyes, obviously, the vast majority of them players, were Alex Ferguson's and that. Obviously, David Moyes enjoyed 8 or 9 months at the football club. He's enjoyed the shortest tenure with Manchester United, David Moyes. But we knew he's never going to succeed at Man United. But Ferguson, was ever at the fault for ever recommending David Moyes in the first place. But the main explanation why Ferguson recommended him in is because there was both Scottish and that, so there you go. Like I said, Van Gaal, he came in for 2 years. Obviously, we did win the FA Cup under the Van Gaal era. And obviously, Jose Mourinho, he enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United, and he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season with the football club. And I've already given you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho on that. So, like I've said to it's not excusable, for how inconsistent we've been. We've obviously, us missing out on, signings over the years and that, because we have been so inconsistent in the last 6 or 7 years or so. Like I said, we haven't dominated football since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Ferguson enjoyed, 26, 27 years at Manchester United, did Alex Ferguson. He had 20 odd years of success. I think we won around 38 major honours under the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, when he got recommended in from Aberdeen, obviously, Ferguson, didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, don't forget. So actually, Alex Ferguson was on the verge of getting the sack by Manchester United and that. But yeah, we were so dominant under the Alex Ferguson era. And obviously Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era, and I don't think anyone will replicate Ferguson's legacy. Solskjaer won't, or any other manager, won't replicate Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United. But I'll continue to say what I've mentioned on my videos before, and that, Solskjaer does deserve more time at Manchester United, and I think, he definitely will be at the football club next season. Obviously, if things don't work out next season, that's when I would get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But who do we get in to replace him if, things didn't work out next season? Because you've got Pochettino, that's been heavily linked with a Newcastle job now. Newcastle have reportedly got to pay around 12.5 million to get him in. Said recently Newcastle are willing to offer Pochettino around 19 million a year. Newcastle have also been in for Massimiliano Allegri, don't forget. So they've got a few managers on their agenda in that. And earlier on in the season, Pochettino was relentlessly linked with a managerial role at Man United. Pochettino, was in negotiations with the football club because he did say that he was interested in taking, the Manchester United job and that. I think what we should have done in reality is after Jose Mourinho got sacked, that's when we should have recommended Mauricio Pochettino in. But obviously, we just decided to go with Solskjaer instead of Pochettino because obviously, Solskjaer knows the traditions of the club. He was a great player for us for 11 years and he flourished under Ferguson's guidance. And also, too, Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. We didn't really have to pay that much to Mould to recommend him into the football club and that. So this is, and Solskjaer obviously, did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But I don't know if there's the foreseeable future for Man United, but I would give him at least another season and give him at least a couple of more transfer windows and that. And I've got to say, we have improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. That's one admission I've got to make. What I mean is, I think, we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment. Because obviously, we've been criticised in recent years, for like overpaying for players, prime example, 75 million for Lukaku, 8 to 9 million for Pogba, 50 million for Fred, 40 million for Matic, 80 million for Harry Maguire. Don't forget, we did pay 65 million for Bruno Fernandes with add-ons included in that. But there you go. So we have been criticised for that. And obviously, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players, in the last 6 or 7 years or so. We've also been criticised, reflects on how poor our recruitment policy has been in that. But yeah, we have improved in the market a bit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out with quite a few weeks ago because he did say we will exploit the transfer market when it does open. So what he means is he believes, we can get the right calibre players in to the football club. And yeah, so this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had said. Obviously, like I said to you, Ed Woodward's been talking a lot. Obviously, Ed Woodward did say the other week that we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. I think he said this to a fans forum. You know, what he means in that aspect is that, you know, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. This is what, you know, Ed Woodward meant. But obviously, you know, he's recently made a transfer promise to Solskjaer, and he says we will remain highly competitive in the summer transfer market, and that he's had quite a few, you know, negotiations with Ed Woodward, you know, to discuss, you know, his plans for the summer. And I think Solskjaer has now revealed his plans for the summer transfer market. You know, he's got an idea of what players, you know, he wants to recruit in. And he's also got an idea of what players, you know, he does want to get rid of. And I've also got an idea of what players we want to get rid of. We're planning to get rid of around 5 or 6 players in the summer transfer market. I think we'll get rid of Jones, we'll get rid of Lingard, we'll get rid of Pereira. I think we'll get rid of Smalling on a permanent transfer. I think we'll get rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer. Hopefully, you know, we can get rid of Sanchez permanently or minimum, you know, put him back out on loan. You know, I give you the news regarding Sanchez, you know, not too long ago. Delors, he could possibly, you know, leave the football club as well. So there. Solskjaer's already said, you know, he wants to make around 4 signings in the summer transfer market because he probably believes we need around 4 signings, you know, to become title contenders. You know, we want to win the league again. And I know, you know, we are the most successful team in England at the moment. You know, we've won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. But we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 7 years ago now. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. That's the last time, you know, we did win the Premier League and that. And, you know, but want to win the league within the next 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years. But I hope we can challenge for the title next season because, you know, I want us to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, you know, because to be honest, you know, they are strides ahead of us at the moment. And Solskjaer's obviously, you know, identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. He wants to recommend a centre forward in a right winger and a midfielder. And there's still some reports saying, you know, like he wants to recommend a centre half in, but I'm very, very sceptical that Manchester United will recommend a centre half in. I really, really am sceptical about that, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. And Solskjaer, don't forget, still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer. So there you go and that. But like I've given you positives, haven't I? You know, from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, you know, tenure so far. You know, Solskjaer's been here over the year now. I think he's nearly been at the football club 17 months in total, including that 3 months when he was the interim manager. He's been here around 17 months now. I think he's been permanent Manchester United boss for around 12 or 13 months and that. And like I've taken positives, yeah, like I've just said, you know, he's promoted the youth very, very well. You know, the young players have been given their opportunities this season. Like I said before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. Like I said, you know, his approach to the big games have been fantastic this season because we registered like 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. So that's also very, very good. You know, he's done very, very well with that. But he did say anyway, you know, when he got given the Manchester United job, well, when he first came in, when he was interim, you know, he did say, you know, that everybody would get their chances to express themselves and that. And more or less every player, you know, has been given their chances, which is very, very good. It really, really is. Got to credit him as well, you know, because he has progressed us to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup and he's progressed us to the last 8 of the Europa League. And if the season does resume, you know, that is a chance of us getting some silverware on the board because we have not won anything yet in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But, you know, there's still things Solskjaer needs to work on. You know, he needs to, you know, work out his best formation because he's been changing formation persistently this season. You know, we have been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation on a regular basis this season, but like I've said on my other videos, we look more expansive with the 3 at the back. You know, we really, really do. I think quite a few times we have gone with that 4-3-3 formation. I think his approach to the games against lower opposition needs to improve because we've had a lot of bad results against lower opposition this season. Obviously, you know, we've had bad results, yeah, you know, he's in the games against lower opposition, you know, Solskjaer's been a bit clueless, you know, hasn't really had a plan A or hasn't really had a plan B and stuff like that. So that, you know, definitely, you know, does need to improve. It really, really does. But I have seen changes under the Solskjaer era to what I saw under the Mourinho era. because Solskjaer's getting the best out of the likes of Martial, Shaw, Fred and that, and they all endured difficult times under the Jose Mourinho era, like I mentioned. I think the personnel's changed, the tactics have changed and that. But there you go. But the negatives on Solskjaer is that since he did get the job permanently, his record has been disastrous. He's inexperienced as a manager. But that doesn't mean, he won't get Manchester United back to glory. But he is inexperienced as a manager. But the longer Solskjaer remains in the Man United job, he's going to be gaining more managerial experience. Of course, you can say he's gained experience now because he's been here over the year. But before he was at us, he was at Mould. He won a couple of Norwegian titles with Mould. And before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff, and he enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff, did Solskjaer. His record was also disastrous then at Cardiff. He only managed around 29 games for Cardiff, did Solskjaer, and that. And the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got Cardiff relegated and that. Don't forget, from 2008 to 2010, he managed the Man United reserve team, so he actually, did watch some of this team at this day and age grow and develop and that. But Solskjaer, wants to be the foreseeable future at Manchester United because Solskjaer adores the club, doesn't he? So, there you go. But, hopefully, when he does eventually leave Manchester United, he can leave a better squad behind, than the one he's currently inherited. So, let's just put that into the equation. I think Solskjaer's got around, 2 years remaining on his Manchester United contract. But, yeah, we'll see what happens next season. And as you all know, Solskjaer is under pressure, to keep this good run of form up, when the football season does eventually resume. But yeah, a lot of aspects of our game did really, really improve before the football season got suspended. There was players that were playing better. Our football looked more expansive. We were scoring more goals. We was creating more chances. That is what we do want to see. That is what we do want to see in that. And as you saw in one of my videos, I think it was a good 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I think I did, it might have even been a month ago. I outlined a couple of the reasons what has saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. And I've got to say, the signing of Bruno Fernandes has definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United because Bruno Fernandes has definitely made the difference in the team. Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. Very instrumental, decision making, very, very good. And definitely the foreseeable future for Manchester United is Bruno Fernandes. I've also got to say, that 6-0 win against Tranmere, that, could have been a game that saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job. That was in the FA Cup, by the way, because before that game, there was talk saying if Man United don't get out against Tranmere, Solskjaer will likely be sacked as Manchester United manager and stuff like that. Obviously, the wins against Tottenham and City earlier on this season, you can say them, the 2 wins against them as well, saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at the football club. But I think we've just basically softened our stance on him because I think if it had been any other manager, maybe, they would have been sacked by now. So that is questionable in that aspect. But with him being a club legend, like I've just said, we did soften our stance on Solskjaer and that. But, we don't really want to sack him because if we was to sack him any time within this 2-year period, obviously we'd have to pay something in compensation to get rid of him. I think we paid 20 million to get rid of Mourinho, didn't we? Didn't we pay around, 10 million to get rid of Van Gaal? If I can remember rightly, didn't we pay around 6 or 7 million to get rid of David Moyes? So there you go. We haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, as you all know. By the way, I think we are going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. I actually said to you, didn't I, yesterday on one of my videos that I did, that if Sancho stays at Dortmund and Kane stays at Tottenham, then I think we'll get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. By the way, Odion Ighalo has revealed what he's learned from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer so far. And Odion Ighalo, said, Solskjaer's a very, very good coach. He loves playing under him, and he says Solskjaer is a very, very good guy and stuff like that. So that's good, what Odion Ighalo's come out and said. We've got him on loan at the moment. We paid around 3 or 4 million to get Odion Ighalo on loan from Shanghai Shenhua. We're paying like a third of his wages, and Odion Ighalo's loan at Manchester United does expire on the 31st of May. There was reports saying that we could extend his loan until the 30th of June. Obviously, due to the coronavirus pandemic and stuff like that. But I think it's been revealed how much it'll cost us to get him permanently, and it will cost us around £15 million to get Ighalo permanently. But gotta say, he has been a very, very good cover-up for Marcus Rashford and that. So I do believe we'll get Odion Ighalo permanently. Of course, we've had quite a few centre-forwards on our agenda. Yes, we have in that. Obviously, my last video that I've just done, I give you the news on Jadon Sancho. I think there's a great chance that Manchester United could sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer market. Because Borussia Dortmund have now come to accept the fact that Jadon Sancho, does want to leave. So they've got a few players on their agenda who could replace him. But we've been handed a boost in our transfer pursuit of Jadon Sancho and that. But I don't think we're willing to pay. We're not willing to break our transfer record for the player. That's what it said last week. Dortmund have already said, they want at least £100 million for the player and that. But the situation with Jadon Sancho. Obviously, was it last week I gave you the news on Moussa Dembele. He's a centre forward. He actually, said that Moussa Dembele would find it hard to reject a move to Man United. Also, too earlier on today, I give you the news on Dean Henderson. We haven't decided yet, whether to allow him to stay at Sheffield United or not. He's on loan at Sheffield United at the moment. His loan spell at Sheffield United ends on the 30th of June. But I think we've already confirmed that, we'll let him go on another loan, but we won't get rid of him permanently because we probably see him as a long-term replacement for De Gea. So there you go. But yeah. So what do you think, to Man United missing out on, them signings over the years? And that there's probably quite a few others, like I said earlier on the video, that I haven't mentioned. But obviously, I can't remember all of them. But there's only a certain amount that I do remember Manchester United missing out on and that. So there you go. I just remembered as well, Aaron Ramsey was one, wasn't he? Because, we did actually, go in for Aaron Ramsey in 2008, and this is when he was at Cardiff. He's just come to my head now, I've just remembered that one, yes. So we did go in for Ramsey under the Ferguson era, but we didn't get him. We came close to getting him, but he ended up joining Arsenal, did Ramsey. And, he went and enjoyed 11 years with Arsenal. And, of course, Aaron Ramsey is now at Juventus and that. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's really everything to update you today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.